A new report finds the looming eviction crisis could disproportionately impact LGBTQ renters. This comes after the Supreme Court overturned the Biden administration's extended ban on pandemic evictions. That report from the Williams Institute at the UCLA School of Law finds nearly 1 in 5 LGBTQ renters say they're behind on rent. That compares to about 1 in 7 non-LGBTQ renters. NBC Out reports LGBTQ people who are younger or people of color are at a particular risk for eviction. And advocates warn that once housing insecurity begins for people, it can affect their ability to find homes for years to come. NBC Out reporter Jo Yurcaba joins us now with more of their reporting on the impending housing crisis. Jo, good morning. So, we've been talking so much about renters across the country being behind on rent and how they could soon be impacted by evictions. But tell us specifically about this report and what LGBTQ renters are facing.
Sure. Well, you can take a look at this first graphic we have with stats from the report. The end of the eviction moratorium will have a disproportionate impact, according to the report, in part because LGBTQ people are more likely to rent their homes at 41% compared to non-LGBTQ adults at 25%. And overall, out of all LGBTQ adults, 1 in 10 said they fear that they could be evicted in the next 2 months.
And Jo, this report also breaks down by race. What does it find on the potential impacts to LGBTQ people of color?
Yes, it finds that LGBTQ people of color will be even more impacted by the end of the eviction moratorium because they are even more likely to rent. So we have another graphic here that you can see, which shows that 47% of LGBTQ people of color rent compared to 19% of white non-LGBTQ people. And the report also found that almost 1/3 of LGBTQ people of color reported being behind on rent compared to 10% of white non-LGBTQ people.
And Jo, how are LGBTQ people already disproportionately impacted by homelessness before we even think about this looming eviction crisis?
Yes, another study by the same institute actually found that 8% of transgender adults and 3% of LGBTQ adults reported experiencing homelessness in the past year, compared to 1% of cisgender straight adults. And LGBTQ youth also make up 40% of all homeless youth in the U.S. So one advocate I spoke to said the moratorium will disproportionately impact them, and an eviction could follow them for the rest of their lives and greatly increase their risk of homelessness in the future.
This is all something to certainly keep an eye on as we wait and see what's going to happen with this potential eviction crisis. Jo Yurcaba, great reporting. Thank you so much.